Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video from Radio 1.
Where's my lucky day, week and month all over again? Talking Climate Warrior with Bhumi Pednekar and me, Hrishi Kay, right here on 94.3 Radio 1. For those of you who've just tuned in, it's basically us talking about our passionate areas and giving you simple hacks on what you can do at home in your immediate vicinity. And like they say in Hindustani, boon boon se sagar banta hai. Last couple of episodes, we talked about the problem of trash and the problem of single-use plastic. And now we move on to clean fuel and energy. Welcome back. It's so wonderful to have you back again. And really, as far as clean fuel and energy, I'd like to comment on what Eric Solheim, who heads the United Nations, said as far as this is concerned. And he said we need to move away from fossil fuels, the burning of coal and the burning of crude oil, to find more renewable sources of energy. And that's something that your heart beats for.
Absolutely. And what Eric said, he heads the UNEP, is absolutely right. Today we have great alternatives. We have solar energy, we have marine energy, we have so many ways of creating renewable energy, and it amazes me why industries aren't really adopting this new age way of working. You still have large industries that are burning fossil fuel, that are burning coal, and I'm all for development. I think it's very, very important, but it can't happen at the cost of our environment and our planet and losing our only home. You have so many, let's talk about it on a more micro level, right? You have so many societies, in Mumbai, the city where I live, that are going towards solar energy, right? You have these panels. My building, for example, I've spoken about it in a previous episode as well, is pretty much, I think 70% of my building is solar powered, right? All the common areas, our gym, our pool area, all the parking lights, everything is solar powered. Just imagine if more societies start doing that. In fact, I also know that the government really supports you when you want to make the switch. When you go to Rajasthan, you see like these amazing wind turbines. It's picturesque, it's pretty to look at, it's cute, and it's very, very energy efficient. So I think it's just about, again, changing your mindset. It's about maybe investing a little more into that R&D, maybe investing like for industries on a macro level, putting in some more capital for a longer solution. It's also cheaper, right? And it's also like, imagine every time you burn fossil fuel, you burn coal, you burn anything else, the number of poisonous gases that are let out into our atmosphere are heating up our planet. That's what global warming is, right? That these gases get trapped because it gets so hot, and it's increasing our planet's temperature. Imagine, scientists say, okay, if our temperature goes up by 1.5 degrees, this is just 1.5 degrees, okay, we are going to see storms on a weekly basis. I am born and brought up in Mumbai. I have never seen a storm or a hurricane in Bombay, and we've seen 2 last year because the Arabic Sea is heating up. The Indian Ocean is heating up. The depression is causing storms, and this is because of climate change and global warming. I'm actually questioning if living by the coastline, I live on the sea, okay, I have a seaside house, is if that's a good idea anymore. We will have to now start thinking about how do we survive in a world that is literally close to apocalyptic. And I think these are things that people don't think of. Coming back to what science says, right? If our temperature rises by 1.5 degrees, which means we are going to have mass migration, we are going to have a refugee crisis, because there are going to be areas that are completely uninhabitable. This is already happening in South America. In South America, there have been such large portions of the Amazon forest that have been burned that today the indigenous tribes over there don't have any source of food. So they are migrating, and this migration problem is a very big problem in the US. There are going to be areas that are so hot that no kind of living species would survive over there. We are going to have major cities that are completely going to drown. Now, the reason I'm speaking about these statistics and the reason I'm speaking about this scenario, which is so apocalyptic, is because burning fossil fuel is a very, very big contributor to this scenario. The only thing that the UNEP, the only thing that world leaders that are advocates for climate change are telling us, that we need to make sure that by 2030 our planet does not reach 1.5, and that can only happen if we stop burning coal, if we stop burning fossil fuels. And look, it's a vicious cycle, right? So you have these oil tankers and you're trying to ship them. That shipping, that transportation also is causing a lot of damage, and it is just not damage to our environment by all the poisonous gases that the transportation kind of gives out. It's also damaging a marine life. Cruise liners, these large cargo ships, genuinely damage our marine life and our ecosystem. So it's a vicious cycle, and we need to break it, and it can only happen when larger industries take responsibility and change their habits of consumption.
Well said. In fact, there are two vibrant examples of solar energy being used at a large commercial scale. Is that the airport in Kochi is fully solar powered, and Tamil Nadu also has the world's one of the, at least definitely India's largest, a plant powered by solar. So there are live breathing examples of solar being used for some pretty incredible stuff. I want to bring my mother in here. She's 72 and she drives an electric car. And she's very proud of it.
That's so sweet.
And they moved to Bangalore after my dad retired from Mumbai city. And the beauty is that they have charging stations at various malls or, public places that she goes to. And it's a great lesson there. Because if you make charging points and infrastructure as freely available as charging a mobile phone, more and more people will use electricity in electric cars.
Which is already happening in the West.
Yeah.
So there are many countries in the West that have said that by 2030 they're going to completely eradicate cars that are run on petrol or diesel. There are so many of my family members in the West have hybrid cars because charging it is so easy. In fact, something that I constantly talk about is that what is the need for nuclear families to have like 8 cars, especially like the rich. Again, we are the abusers. I'm constantly told, why aren't you changing your car? Why aren't you changing your car? Because I don't have the need to change it. I don't need another fuel guzzling machine I don't need it. I'm not for it. Your progress, your personal progress in life is important, but it has to be done responsibly. I feel like this is a very important message that we kind of need to underline time and again. People that fly private, I would love to fly private too, but the point is it good for our environment? No, it's not. Try use public transport, try use commercial flights, try use, whatever mode of transport you can use, try carpooling. In my family, I don't remember the last time I had gone on a long drive. It's such a passé concept. It's so uncivilized, and honestly, when I hear people say things like, "Oh, I drove from here to there just because I felt like it, or just because it was a whim." You could maybe do it 2 decades ago. You can't do that today because this is a luxury.
And you talked about windmills in Rajasthan. It's such a wonderful thought. If we can harness the power of wind and water and create more and more electricity, that's what hydro electricity is all about. Using the motion, the water, recycling it. So if we actually harness our resources properly, there's enough that we can use in terms of clean energy to be able to sustain our planet, our basic needs.
Absolutely. In fact, our technology has gone so far that societies today can actually, I don't know how the mechanism works, but I know that there are these plates that, you can kind of install that will kind of capture the energy when it rains. And in a city like Mumbai, imagine if you are rainwater harvesting, if your society does that, and along with that, you kind of have this technology as well. There are companies that give you these solutions. Just imagine you're going to be such a self-sustaining household. You're creating your own energy. You have your own water supply. Imagine the way your electric bills are going to be cut down. We have families that pay anywhere between 4,000 to 40, 50,000 a month. Your electricity bill is going to be close to nothing. Your water bill is going to be close to nothing. You're actually saving your resources and your money.
Just be conscious. Clean fuel and energy, at least for your daily needs.
Yes.
If you use renewable energy, if you've gone solar or electric, this means you are a climate warrior. Call us in or send us your video so that we can celebrate the climate warrior that you are, and you might stand a chance to meet me. See you soon.
If you like this video, then subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss out on more content.